Hello learners, welcome back once again. As per the new syllabus, this time let's just make sure that GRF is definitely going to be assured by yourself. You are definitely going to success this NET examination, particularly this year, and you are going to have your GRF in your hand. Do like and subscribe the channel that is NT-UGC NET Paper 2 Education. फ्रेंड्स, हमने अब तक पढ़ा है यूनिट 2 का ए पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट और उसमें भी हमने अलग अलग कमिटीज़ और कमीशंस पढ़े हैं. आज हम पढ़ने वाले हैं एज यू कैन सी ऑन द स्क्रीन यशपाल कमिटी रिपोर्ट विच केम इन द ईयर 2009. 2009 में यशपाल कमिटी रिपोर्ट करके एक बहुत ही बड़ा, आप कह सकते हो, इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम में रिफॉर्म कैसे लाने हैं, हायर एजुकेशन को कैसे रिवॉल्यूशनाइज करना है, वो सब के बारे में बात की है. तो विदाउट फर्दर अडू लेट्स जस्ट स्टार्ट विथ टुडेज सेशन. As you all can see over here, today we are going to study unit number 2A, that is committees and commissions contribution towards teacher education. In that we are going to study Yashpal Committee Report that came in the year 2009. Now सबसे पहले तो देखते हैं, ये जब हम पढ़ेंगे ये रिपोर्ट तो आपको पता चलेगा कि सबसे पहले तो उन्होंने थोड़े सजेशंस दिए थे. सजेशंस इन अ वे ओवरव्यू दिया था कि किस तरीके की सिचुएशन है इंडियन यूनिवर्सिटी की और कॉलेजेस की या इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम की ड्यूरिंग द ड्यूरेशन 2009. और फिर उन्होंने सजेशन दिए थे कि क्या क्या चेंजेस लाने हैं या ला सकते हैं इन ऑर्डर टू इम्प्रूव हायर एजुकेशन सिस्टम और एजुकेशन सिस्टम इन इंडिया. तो सबसे पहले देख लेते हैं, जब आप रिपोर्ट उनका पढ़ोगे तो यू विल कम टू नो द इनिशियल पेजेस ऑफ द रिपोर्ट इंडिकेट्स दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स और पॉइंट्स. सो लेट्स जस्ट स्टार्ट विथ टुडेज सेशन. द नंबर वन पॉइंट दैट वाज मेंशन्ड इन द यशपाल कमिटी रिपोर्ट वाज द आइडिया ऑफ अ यूनिवर्सिटी. यशपाल कमेटी रिपोर्ट में यूनिवर्सिटी के आइडिया के बारे में कुछ कहा कि यूनिवर्सिटी का एक जो आइडिया है तो वो क्या है, यूनिवर्सिटी क्या होनी चाहिए. तो द रिपोर्ट सेज अ यूनिवर्सिटी इज अ प्लेस वेयर न्यू आइडियाज जर्मिनेट, स्ट्राइक रूट्स एंड ग्रो टॉल एंड स्टर्डी. यानी कि एक ऐसी जगह है यूनिवर्सिटी जहाँ पे नए नए आइडियाज़ को जर्मिनेट इन अ वे, वहाँ पे आप नए आइडियाज़ ला सकते हो या इनकलकेट कर सकते हो अपने अंदर, ह्यूमन बींग्स के अंदर. स्ट्राइक रूट्स, जो बेसिक फाउंडेशन है उसको भी आप इम्प्रोवाइज़ कर सकते हो, फाउंडेशन जो है उसको स्टडी कर सकते हो और उसी में ग्रो टॉल एंड स्टडी, दैट इज़ डेवलपमेंट एंड ग्रोथ भी कर सकते हो. इन शॉर्ट वैसे आइडियाज़ को जर्मिनेट करती है एक जगह जहाँ पे नॉलेज बिल्टअप होता है, वही आइडियाज़ को विंग्स मिलते हैं और वो धीरे धीरे ग्रो एंड डेवलप करते हैं ह्यूमन बींग को. उसी का नाम है यूनिवर्सिटी. यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैव टू बी ऑटोनॉमस स्पेसेस इन अ वे कि फ्रीडम होनी चाहिए. थ्रू रिसर्च एंड टीचिंग दे क्रिएट, और यूनिवर्सिटी क्रिएट, इवेल्युएट एंड ब्रिंग अबाउट एडवांसेस इन द नॉलेज एंड कल्चर. कहना ये चाहते हैं यशपाल कमेटी रिपोर्ट में कि यूनिवर्सिटीज़ डेवलप ज़्यादा हो सकती है अगर हम रिसर्च एंड टीचिंग या डेवलपमेंट के ऊपर ध्यान दें. क्यों? क्योंकि उसी से नॉलेज क्रिएट हो पाएगा, इवेल्युएट हम कर पाएंगे और उसके साथ साथ जो भी एडवांसमेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट नॉलेज सेक्टर में या फिर कल्चरल डेवलपमेंट में होनी चाहिए वो हो पाएगी. फिर कहते हैं एज मोर यंगस्टर्स फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट सेगमेंट ऑफ सोसाइटी एंटर द यूनिवर्सिटीज, दे लुक एट हायर एजुकेशन एज अ मीन्स टू ट्रांसेंड द क्लास बैरियर. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक कोई बच्चा है जो लोअर इनकम ग्रुप का है, मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप का है या एलिट है या रिच फैमिली से आता है, तो ये क्लास बैरियर जो है उसको हटाने की बात की है. मतलब कि जैसे जैसे यंगस्टर्स अलग अलग सोसाइटी या कम्युनिटी से आते हैं और आएंगे, यूनिवर्सिटी में एंटर करेंगे, एडमिशन लेंगे, नए कोर्सेज करेंगे, एडमिशन लेके नए कोर्सेज को एनरोल करेंगे, उस टाइम पे वो क्या समझ के आते हैं कि उनको हायर एजुकेशन परस्यू करना है. और क्यों? तो इस वजह से कि दे वांट टू यूज़ इट इन ऑर्डर टू, यू कैन से, रिमूव द क्लास बैरियर. कोई भी ऐसा बैरियर या उनकी डेवलपमेंट या ग्रोथ में कोई अड़चन ना आए, स्पेशली रिलेटेड टू द क्लास, और यू कैन से वन पर्टिकुलर आप कह सकते हो सेक्शन ऑफ द पीपल, तो वो एम्फोसिस एक पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन के ऊपर ना रहे. इनफैक्ट इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन ऑल द सेक्शंस ऑफ द सोसाइटी. So that is why it says that whenever the youngsters or many people come from different part of the society and they enter into the university looking for certain courses, then they definitely aim towards reducing those class barriers. So that was the thing that's been said in the report. Then it says it focuses to go beyond specialized knowledge and competence, which again focuses that the person or the young person need to enhance their knowledge and competence, and that in a specialized or expertise way, and they do focus upon that, and that's why the Yashpal Committee is also focusing upon it. Then the second point that says the challenges of the higher education sector. Now what do we mean by challenges of the higher education sector? What we had studied so far is in the first slide that higher education system, particularly university ka concept, and then after it says that what does the challenges or you can say difficulties that has been meant for by the higher education sector. It says that loss of primacy of the universities in the scheme of the higher education sector in India, erosion of their autonomy or freedom, undermining of undergraduate education, the growing distance between knowledge areas and the isolation of universities from the real world outside, and crass commercialization are some of the problems that characterize the growth of the Indian higher education system, which means that not only the class barrier, but along with that, you can say enough freedom is not been given or has not been given to higher education sector. Freedom in a way, whatever courses they want to run in their university, freedom is not given to them. It might be possible that undergraduate courses or arenas are different, that may be possible to be actually run by one particular institution, but that permission is also not granted so far. So these are certain challenges that needs to be focused more upon by the government, so that what will happen, the class commercialization will get reduced, as well as each and every person that is actually aiming at pursuing higher education will be entering into the real world outside, and thereby they will be in a position to understand and grab the knowledge that is really very useful not only for his or her life but also for the entire world at large. So these are certain challenges that's been focused under higher education sector. Then it says that under 2.1 it says that distances and disconnects. So what does it include? Let's just see. Invisible walls. The Yashpal Committee report says that it is often pointed out that our undergraduate and graduate programs are too theoretical one, and the implications being that they are devoid of practical experiences. In short, हम कह सकते हैं कि theoretical knowledge के ऊपर ज़्यादा focus किया जाता है, but प्रैक्टिकल या जो एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग है उसके ऊपर हम फोकस नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. सो अब के ज़माने में बिकॉज ऑफ द एडवांसमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स अ नीड ऑफ एन आवर, वी नीड टू मोर फोकस अपॉन द प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज rather than the theoretical one. And so far what was happening, only theoretical knowledge was given to the students. So that should not be the Yashpal Committee is not saying that that should not be existing. It should be existing, but along with theoretical knowledge at the undergraduate and graduate programs, the syllabus and curriculum should be such that it implies or emphasizes more upon the practical knowledge too. Then it also says that divide between research bodies and universities. Now there is some important thing to be understood by each and every one of you. It says it should be necessary for all the research bodies to connect with universities in their vicinity and create teaching opportunities for their researchers, and for all the universities to be teaching and research universities. That means whatever the courses or research institutions are there in the country, it should get enough autonomy to carry out its research and development work in the best possible manner, and all those research institutions should get connected with the universities, so that what will happen, if the youngster is entering into that university for pursuing the knowledge or gaining one degree, then at that particular time the researched knowledge will also help him to gain that degree in the more deeper or expertise way. So the connection between the universities and research academics, or you can say research institutions, must be there. And there should be no divide or gap between the research institutions and the universities. Then it says that isolation of IITs and IIMs. Now why it has said so? Let's just see. To introduce humanities and other disciplines and expand their scope. कहने का मतलब है IITs, Institution of Technologies and Indian Institution of Management, both these institutions have been framed up by the government in order to introduce humanities and other disciplines and expand their scope, which means that both these bodies should be focusing more upon this arenas like humanities and other faculties. Why is it so? Because we can actually expand the horizon of knowledge. We can then look forward to the day when IITs and IIMs would be producing scholars, and in which field, in which arena, in which discipline. Then here the Yashpal Committee report says that in the field of literature, linguistics, politics, along with the engineering and management wizards who would have substantial motivation for engagement with the local community and the opportunity to use and enhance learning by solving real life problems in their immediate environment. This particular point of Yashpal Committee report focuses upon the thing that IITs and IIMs must be focusing upon producing or getting the scholars into the institution wherein they can pursue or they can become scholars in the field of literature, language and politics, along with the engineering and management or commerce streams. See, engineering and management or commerce streams are the general one in which it has been normal so far to get scholars. But what about the linguistic or literature field? So here Yashpal Committee report focuses upon the fact that scholars must be produced from this field also, apart from the engineering and the management one. So then what can happen? Continuous and you can say growth and development could happen at a national level too. And another thing, it has said that local communities the opportunities to use and enhance learning by solving real life problems in their immediate environment. So that what will happen, whatsoever education that's been actually grabbed by the graduates from IITs or IIMs, the scholars who are actually pursuing the degree, they will be in a position to get the real life problems solved by themselves, and that too in their immediate situations. It might be possible that some difficult situation might be approaching in their life or in the society or in the community, then they will be in a position to tackle it properly. So that is why this particular point focuses upon the IITs and IIM should focus upon the engineering management along with the literature, linguistics and politics field. That's what it tries to meant. Then it says erosion of democratic space. Now what do we mean by this? Let's just see. In a world where boundaries are blurring, it is important that we learn to acknowledge and appreciate differences and not try to homogenize everything. Now see, what is happening is right now with the advancement in science and technology, we can say that the boundaries are blurring in a way that everything is actually getting unclear, ambiguous. So now it becomes really very important by the education institutions that we person learn to acknowledge and appreciate the differences. Differences about what? Differences about the knowledge system and not try to homogenize everything. That is, we need to first focus upon what is right and what is wrong, what sort of knowledge we need to imbibe in a person and what sort of knowledge we don't need to imbibe. Otherwise, what could be its conclusion? We must be understanding that in order to have a peaceful environment in the world. Then it says that isolation of IITs and IIMs to introduce humanities and other disciplines and expand their scope. It says that along with the real life problem, the youngsters should be, just a few seconds ago I had explained this, that with the immediate environment the person should be able to solve his real life problems. So more focus should also be given to producing scholars in the field of literature, linguistics and politics also. Then it also had said about the architecture of learning, that is curriculum issues and syllabus making. This is the most important one. The report says that a new kind of institutional culture and ethos can be created in our general and professional colleges. For this to happen, all syllabi should require the teachers and students to apply what they have learned in their courses and on studying a local situation, issue or problem. So my dear friends, it could be said that not only the theoretical knowledge, but once again this particular report focuses upon the implementation of the theoretical knowledge in a practical way, in a real life way. Hands-on experience should be given to the students, so that what will happen, the curriculum will be a holistic one, or the curriculum or syllabus will be capable enough to help a person or to make a person succeed holistically. So that is why it's been said over here that the syllabi should require the teachers as well as the students to apply what they have learned. Apply what? Apply the knowledge that they have actually got, and what they have learned they should be in a position to apply it in the real life situation and to solve the issue or problem or difficulty that has happened or occurred in the community, society, or in one's personal life. Then it says that curricular reform in this regard would include compulsory exposure and engagement with different kinds of work in the form of summer jobs. Now, what sort of experiential learning you can give to students? Then here some examples are given in the Yashpal Committee report. It says that curriculum reform in this regard would include compulsory exposure and engagement with different kinds of work in the form of summer job. Now see, here the examples are given in the form of summer jobs or internship according to the circumstances or situations and surroundings of the particular university, and should include both manual and other kinds of occupation or work with a certain minimum set of occupational exposure compulsory for all students irrespective of the discipline, which means whether you are from science, arts, commerce, humanities, whatsoever field or faculty you are from as a student. But here you can say that the practical exposure in the form of summer jobs or internships or any sort of training can be given according to the suitability of the particular course or of the particular student. Now, what will happen? The exposure should be given to those particular students, so that what will happen, that the students will be able to evaluate themselves and thereby to grow and you can say develop holistically, or you can say in a knowledge way. Evaluating students on these fronts would necessarily have to analyze how well they have understood and are as a result capable of applying themselves to work and be problem solving in this situation. So ultimately we can say that if they have got the practical knowledge, then they will be in a position to enter into the real world and focus all the difficulties of their life with full zest. So with this, it's a wrap for today's session. Thank you so much. Till the next time, keep learning, keep achieving.